Hello, financial fans. Pretty good week for me. Just coming to a close, this being Friday. And I have some stocks we'll be talking about that might be something you might want to consider if you are planning on buying some stocks. I'm not a financial advisor. As I've said before, and any money you put into the stock market you can lose. And that is true of most investments, but not usually things like money in the bank that happens to be insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation or whoever does that now. But stock market, if you put money in, you can lose it, and not everyone is really good at behaving in the stock market and buying low and selling high like one should do. But nonetheless, numbers-wise, for the year 2022 thus far, the S&P 500 is down about 9%, and my portfolio, I am down now about a half of 1%. So I'm doing better than the S&P 500, but still I'm down for the year. But hopefully the rest of the year might play out a little bit more favorably for investors than what has happened thus far, and we shall begin looking at some stocks to consider. And as I've said, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you like to spend time studying stocks and seeing what looks good to you, these might be some you might add to your list. Some of these I do own. This first one is Banco Santander, I think is the pronunciation, Brazil, and the symbol BSBR. $7.75, a low-cost stock, and this is in the banking sector, and they might have a pretty good year ahead of them for the rest of 2022. We shall see what happens with the interest rate increases, and remember, this is Brazil, so just study anything before you invest money. $7.75 per share as of closing on Friday. And the 52-week range, the column on the left, 2/3 of the way down, 52-week range, $5.19 was the low in the past 52 weeks, and $9.27 was the high, so it's right there, somewhere in the middle between those two numbers. That means it's got some headroom, and there's a certain amount of pressure pushing the stock up that might prove to be helpful, and we shall see what happens as time goes by. The average volume near the bottom of the column on the left, the average volume, 1.5 million shares trade each day, and according to the people who study the stocks at Yahoo, this stock is overvalued. That means they think it will be going down. Well, I think it will be going up in price, but we shall see. The middle column, third item down, PE ratio about 9, and that's very good. Anything under 10 is a very good PE ratio indeed. And go down a little further, forward dividend and yield about 9%. That's what one would get for holding on to the stock. If it doesn't go up and keeps paying the 9% that it's currently paying, this would still be a good investment for those who like to buy and hold. The 1-year target is a lower price than what the stock is selling for today. $7.47 is the expected target price for 1 year from today. Next, we look at Intel. I did own Intel. I sold Intel and made a profit on it a few months back. INTC is the symbol, $51.83, the current price. And we look at the column on the left, 2/3 of the way down, 52-week range, $43.63. It was much lower than what it is now at one time to the past 52 weeks. And it also was as high as $68.49, so it was much higher. It's got lots and lots of headroom, lots of potential movement upward. We shall see. Average volume, about 40 million shares trade every day, 39.25 million shares trade every day. And the people who study the stocks think that Intel is near fair value right now. Middle column, third item down, PE ratio 10.66, which is very good for a company as big as Intel and for a company that has as bright a future as Intel. At some point, the economy is going to start roaring, R-O-A-R, roaring again, and being very busy buying computer chips and whatever else makes people smile at Intel. The 10.66 is a very good PE ratio for right now. The forward dividend and yield about 3%, 2.83%, which is good for those who buy and hold. It's nice to get a dividend check every now and then. The 1-year target estimate, $54.08. I think Intel can make that $54 and more with the future when things start picking up and they find a way to make computer chips again and sell them. Intel should do quite well. Next we look at Organon. I do own this stock. OGN is the symbol, $34.99. We'll say about $35 per share. Not a very high price stock. Good price there for a lot of investors who like to buy stock 100 shares at a time. The average volume, 2,280,000 shares trade every day, and the experts consider this stock to be near fair value at the $35 mark. And the middle of the third item down in the middle column, PE ratio, 6.59. 6.59 is indeed a very good PE ratio for a stock. Forward dividend and yield, a little over 3%, 3.17%. And the 1-year target, $40 a share, which would be a nice move upward for a stock that's selling at $34.99. And so we continue onward, and we look at the next stock, which is an oil stock. I won't try to pronounce it, but PBR. I do own this stock. I've owned it for a while, and it seems to be a stock that should have a very bright future in the rest of 2022. $14.69 is the price that closed that on Friday. And if we look at the 52-week range, $7.91, about half of what it is now, a little over half. But $7.91 was the low, and $15.12 was the high, so it doesn't have a lot of headroom there. The average volume, 34.5 million shares trade every day, and this stock is considered to be undervalued by the experts and by me. The PE ratio, third item down in the middle column, PE ratio, look at that, 4.34. That is indeed a very good PE ratio. Forward dividend and yield, 14%. Get out of the way, that's lots and lots of money falling down on you, 14.12%. And the 1-year target is about where it is today. They're saying it's going to be about $14.86. Well, if you get 14% along the way and you still have your original investment, that's pretty good, and that could happen here with the prediction of a 1-year stock price increase to $14.86. And I thank you very much for watching.